What's going on, everybody? Edge0626 here, and as you can see, I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2 playing in the background. Scarif gameplay, that's right, the new map is here. At the point of this recording, this map would have been released about a week ago, but I'm uploading my review of it now, as I have with a few other maps in the past. Now, in my honest opinion, do I think the map is great? It's okay. It has some flaws that I think still linger from its 2015 iteration, and as I get through this commentary, I'll try and explain that to the best of my ability. But let's get right into it. So, of course, just like the 2015 version, the map does have different variations of lighting. The lighting variation that you are seeing right now is more of a sunset type of look, which I think fits the map a little bit better. And then there's like that bright early day, I don't want to say early day, noonish type of lighting, if that makes any sense at all. So where it's like really bright outside, it's like peak day, it's like the peak of the day where everything's super bright outside, it's really nice out, and it's just bright. Now I think that map is a little bit better when it comes to player visibility, but other than that, I mean, I do think the sunset fits the actual map a little bit better. That's just me. So it really depends on personal preference what you like about the map when it comes to the actual lighting style of it. But those are my thoughts. Unfortunately, and this is more of a broad type of thing when it comes to the Age of Rebellion, I'm really bummed, and I know they released this a while ago, I just never brought it up. I'm really bummed that there's no capital ship takedown, judging from the fact that in the the campaign, they have interiors of the Mon Calamari ship, and I'm sure they have interior, or they could have made it interior of some sort of, Star Destroyer from the Empire. It is what it is. Some people don't like it all that much. For some people, the game is a little bit shorter that way, and I understand that. I personally prefer the capital ship takedown part because it adds for more score, so that's just my opinion of that. When it comes to Scarif and how the flags are set up in general for all of the Age of Rebellion maps, C flag is the fucking control point that you want to take, and that's how it is. C flag is the one you want to take in the early outset of the map, and because of how Scarif is laid out, if you don't cap C, you're basically spawn trapped for most of the game. There are opportunities, so to speak, to break out of that sort of deal, but it's very difficult, and if you don't have a good team, you're fucked. I've always said that skill-based matchmaking should be something that is put in Star Wars Battlefront 2, depending on the mode, and the more I played this map, the more I see that I was right, because once you control the C point, the opposite team who has either A or B or D or E, it's rough. It's really rough. My first game, we got fucking destroyed because of that deal. And just how the map is laid out, you have to cross this river, you have to try and find cover. There's really no cover other than these bushes, which I'll get to that in a second. So it's really easy for enemies to basically mow you down and gun you down and so on. Visibility is not great when it comes to this map, and again, that comes to the whole lighting point. If you're on the sunset portion of the map, I can't see shit. I don't know what it is. I absolutely despise the bushes. I know that they're supposed to be there. I know that they were there in 2015, and I had the exact same issue with visibility, especially in the sunset lighting. So it was really annoying. It's really annoying for me to fucking see enemies. I can't tell you how many times I've been fighting guys, or I'm just running, being my old happy merry self, walking across a couple of bushes. All of a sudden an enemy pops out. I didn't even fucking realize he was there until it's too late. That's where my issue lies, and that issue more or less comes in the fact of the rebellion. I think the stormtroopers do come at a disadvantage when it comes to visibility, because so many of them could either be variations of the regular stormtroopers or the shore troopers, or hell, I've even seen a snow trooper. And I don't know why you would be a snow trooper on Scarif, but that's just my opinion. But the point I'm trying to make is the Empire comes at a severe disadvantage once again when it comes to this map because of the variations. And because of the colors of the map, the Rebellion has that distinct disadvantage, or advantage, I should say, when it comes to any sort of color, when it comes to any sort of camouflage. So I'm not a fan of it. Of course, visibility has been something I've complained about, I think, a few times in the past, whether it's been Battlefield or Battlefront 2. So, yeah. And as far as layout of the map goes, again, it's rough. The layout is very rough. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, even all the Age of Rebellion maps that I've played, or most of them, I have not played Yavin 4 or Death Star 2, so I don't know how they're laid out. But as far as I'm concerned, I've played Hoth, I've played Scarif, and I've played Tatooine. And all of the maps are laid out the same. 2 points on one side, 2 points on the other side. And if I had to rank, judging off what I've done, of what I've played, what maps or what eras of Star Wars have the better supremacy maps in terms of capture point placement, I would say the Clone Wars maps have that advantage because I just think they're laid out better. I think Geonosis, out of all of them, is probably the best, and that's just a fact. But the Clone Wars as a whole is better. I think the capture point placements for when it comes to... by the way, this is a cheeky little spot when you're capturing C, just so you know. So if you're trying to cap C and you're trying to be unseen, this is a nice little cheeky little spot for you. If you've seen it already, well then you know that it works. But as I was saying, I just think the capture point placements when it comes to Age of Rebellion maps are very, very lazy. That's just me. And that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. Now, this comes to the next part of the video, which is going to be a little bit more tough and maybe even slightly emotional. And that is the fact that Scarif is the last installment of Star Wars Battlefront 2 in terms of DLC expansion, free DLC expansion. I've given this game a lot of crap over the last year, starting with Star Wars Battlefront 2, not Star Wars Battlefront 2, the Heroes vs. Villains update, which was abysmal. I won't beat that dead horse. I know I've said I'll stop talking about it in the past, but that one was, to me, it really hurt me, because I did not enjoy the mode as much as I wanted to. There are some things I wish this game would have added that they never added or just changed, and that's the daily crate situation. I've talked about that in my Losing Interest in Battlefront 2 video, which you can check out. When it comes to, again, skill-based matchmaking, I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 would have benefited from that. But yes, as I've said, this is the last iteration of Star Wars Battlefront 2 DLC, and it brings a tear to my eye. And it literally brought a tear to my eye, because when I saw the community transmission from Dennis Bronville on the EA Star Wars Twitter, I shed a tear, because I have supported this game for forever. Even though I disagreed with it and I made my rants on certain topics, I still loved this game. I really did enjoy this game, and it's so hard for me to comprehend, I guess, that this is it. When you support a game for as long as I have with Star Wars Battlefront 2, given how awful, and I mean how awful, the launch was. God, I'm getting a little bit emotional right now, I apologize. You know, there were very few people that right off the bat, when the game released in its first couple of months, they said, no, I don't want to play it. I don't do this pay-to-win bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I completely, 100% understand, and I would have understood with anyone that said, you know, I don't want to play a game with all these transactions. But as time went on, things got better. The progression system was fixed. They added new maps, they added these new skins, they added basically mostly everything a majority of the community wanted, like capital supremacy and so on, which to me I think was the true saving grace, or the last true saving grace of this game. That's all a lot of us ever did, and I think that mode is probably the most popular out of any Star Wars Battlefront 2 mode. And it's really a shame that a fuck-up like Battlefield 5 had to cause this. And that's where I get kind of upset, because Battlefield 5's catastrophic fuck-up of basically its entire existence caused this game to stop being supported because they needed everyone to focus on the next Battlefield game. And again, I get that. I'm not a developer, but I understand, and I'm not a EA executive, but I understand the decision that was made. And I just want to say, I want to thank DICE. As much as I've given them shit, I want to thank them for what they did. And that's 100% from the heart, because you truly had one of the greatest comebacks in gaming history, that I feel. I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 probably made one of the greatest gaming comebacks in I don't even know how long. Because ever since, I'd say around mid to late 2018, that's when the game made a great turning point, and everything was for the better. And I think since then they've made changes that people either like or dislike, but regardless, people were happy. And I don't know what the future's gonna hold with me playing this game. I've accomplished everything I've needed to accomplish. I've got it. I got it a platinum trophy on it on PlayStation. I reached level 50. There's not much more I can do that could keep me playing this game, and I don't know. I have gameplay of it that I'll still put out, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the future holds for me in this game. But regardless, this is the end of an era for a lot of us Star Wars gaming fans, or Star Wars fans in general. And I look forward to see what the future holds. With that being said, my name is Ed0626. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Take care of yourselves, and most importantly, take care of each other. Until next time, peace out.